Hey everybody, it's Splattercat and welcome back to episode number 3 of our Warlock Master of the Arcane playthrough. Where we had left off, we were waging war on these undead baddies over here. They looked at us the wrong way, and plus it was really convenient to knock them off and take their land. And when you're a leader, that's really all it takes sometimes. That's the only motivation that you really require. So, we are going to end this turn. I actually didn't realize that I ended without ending the turn, so let's end this turn. And they're going to attempt to retake their land, but they're just going to get butchered, so there it is. And they have been taken the hell out, and they're going to bombard our archers here. Let's go ahead, and every unit, you saw that little +2 there, every unit regenerates a little bit in between the turns. However, if you really want them to rest, you just hit the R key. I talked about that in the first episode, and that's going to get them patched up a little bit quicker. Now, we want these guys to retreat, so we're going to bring them back into our borders. We're going to have these guys fire away, and let's have... Will that be the last blow? No. Now, I think they're out. I was going to let them have the glory since they hadn't showed up yet for the combat. But we'll roll in right here, and we now have Risewitch. So Risewitch has been taken. So we'll rename that. I'm going to go through your list. I actually didn't write down the list of all the names you guys had for the towns. So unfortunately, I'm not going to name any towns this episode because I've completely forgotten what your suggestions were. Keep them coming, by the way. Any episode you want to throw that down in the comments, a suggestion for a city, I will definitely take a look and add it to the list. Now, this is our territory, and this is going to help us out quite a bit. What you see here is they have a mana trap built, and the nice thing about taking over neutrals is that it doesn't destroy what they have built. So if I had taken a building, or I had taken a city by this gent up here, it would actually destroy all the buildings that he had around his city, and we'd have to start from scratch. But when you knock off a neutral, you actually get to keep that. So we got a mana trap here, and you can see that it won't count until next turn, I don't think, but we have got a mana trap now, and that's going to help us get a little bit more mana per turn. We also have a magic field down here, which I don't remember what humans build on these. I know that for the orcs and for the goblins, it's a pretty cool building. And you'll see over here we have another notification that we have a merchant who has arrived. One of the other little gameplay mechanics that this game has is that every now and again merchants will show up and they'll try and sell you artifacts. Now we have a pretty good surplus of gold, so I'm going to go ahead and buy this staff. It says here that it increases the elemental magic that's being dealt, and you equip this on heroes. Now we haven't had any heroes show up just yet, but if we get a magic hero, this is going to increase their potency in the long run. It's going to make them better at what they do. And so I'm going to buy that. It's not the best item I've ever seen show up, and the items that the game has are pretty limited, but if you have some of the DLCs, which I don't, because I'm super broke right now, I did want to go get them all, but it was a little too much. It was a too spendy for what I was looking for. But if you get some of the DLCs, it adds a ton of items and a ton of heroes, and it makes the game a lot more robust. I've actually heard that the game is way better if you have all the DLCs. I've heard that they've been put into place very well. They've been enacted with great skill. So, everybody has used up their turns now, except for whoever this is. Oh, our settlers. And so will it let me build there? Nice. So I'm going to go ahead and build right here. There we go. And we are all built up. And Sunville, God, these names are awful. And so we have 2 towns to name, so feel free to throw those down in the comments because these are just god-awful. Risewitch is kind of eh. That's not so bad, but witch means salt in Old English, or in like, I think it's maybe Welsh, I don't remember, but witch means salt. If you guys never knew that, in England and in Britain and in that whole UK area, if you see a town with witch on the end of it, that's the old, actually maybe it's Old Latin, maybe that's what it is. That's what the Romans named it, I think. Witch means it has salt. So we have rising salt here, which kind of makes sense, but I don't really like it, so that's gonna go. Back here in the capital of the moon, we haven't leveled up in a little bit. Sunville, we should have the option to build a building pretty quick. I wish it hadn't put the farm right there. But then again, where else was it going to put it, I guess? Better than putting it right there. I don't think it can actually do that. But we've got another city right here. So as our borders expand, we're going to want to look into defending ourselves a little bit better, putting a unit or 2 next to every single place. And we also want to focus pretty heavily on getting ourselves locked in on a path now. Like, we want to decide what buffs we want to get. And we want to start putting, like, the higher level smithies and things in this town so that our units get more and more upgraded. It speeds up the combat process in the future and makes everything run a little bit smoother. So let's end our turn. Hopefully nothing crazy happens. And we have a demand. Lovely. So let's focus on the positives first. We get to build a building right now. And they've got an iron source right here. We can build a foundry, which gives us masterwork armor, but I don't know if it applies that across all of our units. I think it only applies it across the ones that are produced here. We'll test it out a little bit later, but this was going to be our food generation location. So let's build ourselves a granary. That's going to cost us a little bit of gold, but I think, let's see what we're producing right here. So in Boo, we're producing 10 food. That means as a deficit, if we put a granary, it's going to cost us 2, but overall we're going to get 5 gold. So we're still going to get a 3 gold bonus here. And it's also going to make our fruit production very, very robust. So let's put that right there. And we're getting the 20% bonus for that being on a plane. So all in all, I think that's going to work in our favor. Let's close down the city view here. And let's start moving people around. Now, you'll see we got some flying units right here. None of my melee units can fight with them, so we're not even going to bother. What we will do, though, is bring them back and garrison them in the city, just in case they try and attack, so that these soldiers can soak some of the damage. The other thing that I'd like to do is let's bring the hunters down here, and how much HP? They only have 8 HP left. How much HP do they have? 8. So actually, we'll probably be okay. Let's try this out. We'll have them bombard them. And the outcome, okay, good. So they've only got 4 HP. They won't be able to wound them. I would like to get them patched up, so let's take a look at our list of people who leveled up in the last turn. One of our units here did. We're going to give them missile resistance so that they can kind of siege and take part in attacks against heavily ranged units, and then we're going to assign them to Wrest for this turn, get them nice and patched up, because they deserve it. They took our city, they didn't fail us. If they had failed us, I'd execute them, or at least disband them and send them back unemployed, which in some ways can be worse. Well, I'd rather be, no, I like being unemployed. I'm going to be really, really honest. Some of the best periods of my life were when I was unemployed. Now let's take them back to the capital, but we're going to keep them within walking distance of Risewich, because after you take over a town, it is very, very weak. It only takes a few attacks to get it knocked over, so we want to avoid that situation. Here, these guys have full health, so we don't need to worry about them. We'll leave them as a garrison right there. And next turn, I think I'm going to start producing. Actually, let's get them going now. Let's get some warriors rocking. Now, enemy density and unit density are one of the things that I don't like about this game. It's very, very easy to zerg, and when you get further into the game, there's going to be large units like ogres and things that kind of avoid that strategy, where they cleave, they deal tons of damage to everything around them, and they have huge amounts of hit points, but those are more along the lines of super units. So let's look at this demand real fast.
I have something to tell you.
No way. You can go ahead and I'm going to avoid using horrible language here, but giving away Ghost Wolves at this point would be a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Never give this spell away. This spell is super awesome. So we're just going to go to war. We're going to say, F you, buddy. We're going to give him a giant middle finger, or whatever the cultural symbol is that you have. If we were in India, we'd give him a thumbs up. If we were in any number of countries, there would be a number of gestures we would give to him just forthright. But that, I actually forgot we had the spell. So we're going to go up here to our casting panel. And we're actually going to cast Ghost Wolves, because that's a really good spell. And so let's... oh, never mind. There's a cooldown. So you see right here, or there's a casting time. This turn we're going to accomplish 1 casting turn. The next turn it's going to finish up, and we'll be able to place it wherever we want. Now, what else is going on here? I think we've more or less shored up everything. Oh, they leveled up too. So we're going to give them... oh, this is their first level. So I guess we'll give them the plus melee perk. And who else? Oh, we're going to have them just defend. And now he's declared war on us. That's fine. We don't really care. Oh, and what we have now is we've had an invasion of the beasts, unfortunately. That little pew 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 thing that you just saw was monsters spawning all throughout our kingdom, which was why I was trying to get people back to where they needed to be. So from Sunville, we're going to bombard these cockroaches. They aren't a huge threat for us right now. Can anybody get there quicker? I don't think anybody can. So I guess we'll leave Sunville there. I don't think they're going to be able to invade Sunville just yet. We're also going to send ourselves, I think actually... King Lich will actually probably fight them before we even have the opportunity to get up there, so let's not even stress about it. Let's look down here to the rest of our units. Can they finish them off this turn? Okay, so there we go. And that's going to finish them off, give them a little bit of XP, and unfortunately they are still kind of exposed out here. But we'll leave them where they are for the time being. And let's look around at some of these units. So... just in case, I'm going to send a unit up there. I'm going to send another unit up here just to watch the borders from King Lich in case he tries to get a little sneaky. He tries to put his sneaky shoes on and just tiptoe through the tulips into our territory. And what can they shoot at? What are they able to shoot at? I don't see what is invading us right here. Anything? Monsters? It says that we have the ability to shoot at someone. Is it... who is it? I don't see anyone along our borders. That is very... oh, maybe they can take the shot this far. Oh, they can. Lovely. I probably should have done that beforehand, then I could have just walked over here and taken this. Now, the side benefit of these invasions is that I can now take over these garbage dumps and these rat holes and get a ton of gold and potentially a new magic spell. Now, you'll see here that this is glowing. That means our wolves are ready to roll. So we're going to drop our wolves there, and our production of mana has been strongly nerfed. These wolves cost a lot. But even though they're costly, they're also very, very powerful. And they start out with the ability to move large distances and also deal a lot of damage. You'll see here that in our synopsis of the battle, we deal 13 damage to the 4. These guys are very, very powerful, so bear that in mind if you're planning on making them. They were able to one-shot that group of Ratmen and get that Ratman hole before King Lich would even have the opportunity. Other than that, let's take a look at who hasn't had orders. So we've got this new unit of soldiers right here. I'm going to garrison them right here in between these two territories in case they need to reinforce. These gents right here need to... oh, they're going to stay put for now. These guys right here already used their turn killing off those wyverns or wyverns, however you choose to talk about wyverns. I'm going to move these ladies over here just to keep an eye on the kingdom and make sure nothing crazy happens. It looks like territory was taken over here, and that's what it says. World News, there's been a captured city, so our nasty, nasty little foe took that land over there. So he's putting some pressure on us. That may be why he declared on us so early. Now, I can wrest these from his control quite easily. I always thought that was a strange word. You can wrest that from somebody's control, because normally it takes a lot more effort, and I know there's a W in the front, but wresting control sounds like you're just sitting in an armchair, like shooting Nerf darts at somebody, and you just take control of something. But anyways, they're going to hang out down here in Boo just in case there's a monster invasion from this direction. I'm strongly considering expanding out this way. So after I heal them up, I may send them out here and then produce more settlers and make another town right here to take this other pig farm. We'll have another food producing area. And now this was going to be our mana producing location. So help me keep that in mind. If I build anything stupid over here and I don't think about it, I apologize, but remind me if I do it. But we have so many nice little things here that are going to produce mana for us that I just can't resist the urge. Now, we can make rogues from the moon. So we have rogues from the moon, which are so much, that's substantially worse than rogues from anywhere else. Rogues from the moon are way sneakier. They are very, very good at stealing things. They're good at just hiding in plain sight. The moon doesn't have a lot of crevasses or anything of that nature. And so when they capture a city, the enemy that is, you can click this little icon to go there, but since we already saw it, we're not going to worry about it. Dens of dangerous beasts have showed up. That's the other notification, and recruiting's complete. Construction's complete. Okay, we're going to end the turn. And there we are. They are doing battle over here, so it seems like King Lich has problems of his own. He's fighting with monsters inside his own boundaries, as are we. In this next turn, I'm probably going to... let's heal our wolves. Let's get them patched up, even though they didn't take much damage. We're going to patch them up because we want to keep them around in the long term. Down here, we're going to take the opportunity to patch up our rangers as well. Right here, everything is stellar, so let's just command them to rest. Offer here. Hear me, mortal. King Lich wants to make peace, and he's going to give us a free spell if we do it, so absolutely. There's nothing better than being bribed. So we are going to put on our bibs of bribery and take that bribe. Now, these ladies over here are now free to explore in this direction because actually... oh, I'm at war with him right now. That was a terrible plan. Bad, bad Splattercat. That was a horrible, horrible idea. So now they're going to take some fire, unfortunately. That was a tactical error on my part. And let's take that garbage dump. And what else is going on? It looks like we have some lost caravans and things over here. I'm semi-tempted to march up into this direction and take that lost caravan and wipe out some of these enemies up here. But while they're pestering King Lich, I am obliged not to do so because the enemy of my enemy may not be my friend, but he is definitely a thorn in my enemy's side, which makes me laugh and provides me with all kinds of joy. Now, these warriors down here, who hasn't been assigned orders? Let's see, they haven't, so we'll tell them to wait, and they will wait as well. And we've had peace, and let's end this turn. And Rajak definitely just fired on us, didn't he? Ah, bastard. Ornery, ornery bastard. But it seems like they actually did pretty well in that combat. Let's go back and take a look at the damage here. Let's take a look. Now, they fought with these skeleton warriors and actually did surprisingly well. That's probably due to the fact that they're level 3 and these skeleton warriors... oh, they're also level 3. They must not have the buffs that we have. So how did they get taken out so heartily? Oh, they have no melee resistance, and I'm willing to bet that these ladies probably have... oh, they don't either. I don't know. Maybe we just kicked ass and took names. I'm just going to assume that that's how it went down. And let's head down this way into this pig farm, and we're going to look in this little area down here for potential places to put our next town, our next naming opportunity, as it were. Now, our wolves, we just made peace with King Lich, I think, didn't we? Yes, we made peace with him, so we can now march around his borders and just take a look. That's what we're going to use the wolves for right now. Make sure that we have a good idea of what's surrounding us, now that we have a nice little force to keep us safe. Our merry men are going to go down... oh, no, 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 no! I messed up, guys. I messed up bad. I messed up real bad. And that's why we expand slowly. I didn't mean to click right there. I meant to right-click, and I left-clicked instead. That was a fundamental, and if these gentlemen die, I have to send apologies to their families. It's going to be very awkward. It's going to suck. Now, let's keep everybody just positioned where they are for the time being. There we go. Just cycle through. And construction's complete on what? Oh, our granary. Good, 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 good. So we're making even more money. We have a huge food surplus right now. I'm liking where we're at. And so the next building that's probably going to get built right here is this iron mine, just to test out whether everybody gets the benefit from doing that. And I wish it was showing me what was happening right now. Yeah, I think we just got wiped the hell out. Yep, we just got wiped like a booty. So let's head back over to here.
Oh, no.
No. Let's head back over here just to hide him, keep him safe. We're going to cradle him for now. They probably all got post-traumatic stress syndrome now. We're going to have to pay all kinds of psychological fees. Our health insurance premiums just went up. Now we've completed our basic dispel, which is very, very good, which gives us the opportunity to get a new spell. Eagle Eye, that increases the sight radius. I would consider placing that on my wolf troops. But for now, let's go with melee resistance for our wolf troops, so that they're going to be kind of our vanguard for the time being. They are so amazingly awesome at this period in the game that we want to buff them up as much as possible, keep them nice and stocked against enemies, and it looks like there's not a whole lot going on over here. We'll probably have them come down here and clear out this garbage dump for the potential at getting a new spell. And this is a pretty sizable group of enemies over here. I would like to take that graveyard for, yet again, a chance at getting a free spell and some extra gold. But while there's this many enemies around, it's kind of blocking our opportunity to make a new city out here. So I may rally the troops and send some people out here to fight. I may or may not. I'm going to keep that pinned for the moment. I'm going to table it. Now, our men here, we're going to do that. And we'll keep them positioned as well. We'll keep all these guys positioned with what they're doing. And I really, really, really wish there was a way just to bypass this. I think, let me see here. Oh, never mind. I can bypass the turn without giving an order. Never mind. I was a little worried about that. Well, actually, did it actually pass the turn? I don't think it did. I wasn't paying attention to little turnometer up here. Now, we've got some bears there, and those are going to be a problem. So we don't want to deal with any boo-boo, and we don't want to deal with any picnic problems, I guess. So we'll leave that aside for the time being.
Warriors.
Assign you guys some orders, and recruiting is complete back at the capital, which gives us the opportunity to make a little bit more of a stride towards fighting our foes. We still have really no motivation to make anything other than warriors. I am going to make peasants, I think. Let's make our next group of settlers, because I would like to place a city over here, just to make sure we don't have this gap of land, because I can almost assure you that Rajak is eyeballing these lustfully, thinking about taking this land from me, so I'll probably put it right... Oh, I don't know. Probably in this vicinity somewhere. Maybe like right here so that we get access to that ancient ruin and these pigs. Probably probably right here is what I'll do with it. Just so we can get those two bonus locations. Now, I would like this to expand out a little further so we can build a harbor and so that we can build some other things, but it hasn't happened just yet. Indeed, there are naval fights that we can get into, and that may help us in the long term. Let's pass this turn. And King Lich just dropped the heater on him. Whoa, I know you didn't just walk through my land, man. And bears just did a number on our scouts, so they're going to retreat. And attacked by bears would definitely be less than optimal, so let's send them back to base to get patched up. There we go. We could tell them to fortify and hold their ground, but I'm not ready to lose that unit just yet. We also have some construction ready to go in 2 of our towns, I think. Maybe 1, maybe 2, I don't know. Now, this location was going to be our monetary location. That's what it was. So let's go with the Silverwork Armory. Oh, that's different. So we can choose to put a silver mine on this one, which is, I think, is what I'm going to do. And we'll use this silver mine over here for the Silver Armory. Now, the Silver Armory is going to upgrade our units and give them super cool gear to make them a lot better. It's going to be beneficial in general to our whole military campaign. Now down here, okay, never mind. All these guys have stuff that they can do. Let's just assign him to Wrest for a little bit. And what else do we have going on? Let me see here. We'll just pass the turn because I don't really want to move anybody around at all. Hopefully they don't attack my... I hope they attack my city. Oh, they're just passing through. They are rolling stones. They're rolling stone wyverns. They're just rolling through. So let's get a shot off on them. And I can't resist the opportunity to get some free XP, so I'll have them fire from a forest. And hopefully that kills them. There we go. And so free XP. Never something to scoff at, never something to turn up your nose at. It's always a good thing. And so down here we want to have a mana farm, and we're going to place that on any location that has a bonus to producing. I thought all these had a bonus. Hold on here. Oh, I thought Barren Hills had a bonus to producing mana. Unfortunately, it does not appear to be the case. We're going to build our foundry down here, and what's that going to cost me? Oh, we get money for doing that. Okay, so let's put our foundry down there. Oh, they didn't finish those off. Damn it all. Anyways, let's go back up here to our other construction zone, and we're going to put in a graveyard. Oh, that's to build units that are part of our enemies anyways. We can build ourselves some units. Now, let's go ahead and build a market here. Or that's not what I wanted. Cancel that, cancel that, cancel that. No, 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 no. Cancel the construction, and that probably just cost me something. A mana farm. There we go. So we'll start a mana farm right there. And that's going to help us get a few more mana points, because I don't like how little magic we have right now. We're fighting against heavily undead armies, which means we're going to need a lot of magic to go up against them in order to keep them waylaid. And so, being waylaid, that sounds like once again, that sounds like an upgrade on being laid. You've not only been laid, you've been waylaid, dude. So,
research is complete.
now, let's take care of them, get them out of our borderlands, and our spell research has been complete, so we've got basic melee resistance now. That's going to help us. And what else do we have lined up? So we can summon imps. Now, I've found that imps are not so great. They can be. They're kind of, I don't know if these are the ranged ones or the, let's see here, elemental magic. I don't know if these are the ranged ones or if these are the melee ones. It doesn't say whether the attack is ranged in melees. I know that imps come in two varieties. They have a ranged version that shoots like a fireball, arcuate kind of artillery round that does a lot of damage. I like those imps. I don't like the melee ones because they don't seem to have a lot of hit points or anything of that nature. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Now let's go with Eagle Eye, I guess. There's nothing out of all those choices that I really am just super excited to get. Let's pass the turn and hopefully things go well for us. I just realized that I forgot to move my ghost wolves. I'm being a noob right now. And so let's get in here and fight with these cockroaches. And we've driven them out of their home. Oh no. We may have put our wolves in dire straits here. We may get jumped by bears and ratmen and cockroaches in the same turn. And if that happens, it's going to put us in a very, very rough spot. We may lose them, but we can just resummon them. It's not a huge deal. And why am I losing so much mana? 6 army upkeep. I thought that I was getting 2 per turn. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'll investigate further later. Now we've got another building to build. We have the opportunity to make tax offices, which is going to help us make a little bit more money. But I think what I'm going to go with for now, let's do the barracks. Let's do the barracks, get everybody nice and drilled, get them ready to roll for combat, get everybody that's been produced through here ready to kick ass and take names. Now we aren't producing any units right now, and I think that's probably going to be to our detriment. So let's get some, I guess, warriors going. We'll get a nice little queue of warriors going.
Yes, my lord.
We'll also get you out of the capital. We've got our settlers. We're going to send them down here. We're going to get them healing. And let's have them just kind of help them get down here. And I think where I said I was going to build this was right here. There is a bear nearby, so we will send these warriors out to flush out the bear first. These guys did actually... Oh, they leveled up. They leveled up. Okay, so let's level them. And my favorite upgrade for them is going to be this one right here, Pathfinders. Now, you have 3 options. You have Recon, which increases their sight range. You've got Pathfinders, which helps them go over land without using multiple points. So when they go over a mountain or through a forest, they only lose 1 movement point. And then they've also got Sharp Tooth. I'm going to go with Pathfinders for now because we're kind of using them as scouts. They may not survive the next round anyways. Let's make sure that we're not wasting our time at all. And actually, let's send some units over here to help them. We have a lot of surplus units, so I'm going to send them over to here. So just in case they get into trouble, they can sprint in and save them. Other unit orders we could possibly give. Let's get them healed. Let's just cycle through.
Yes, my lord.
And I think other than that, we're pretty much done. So let's pass the turn. And this puts us at right about our time limit for the episode. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in this, the 3rd episode of our playthrough of Warlock, Master of the Arcane. I hope you've been enjoying it. Feel free to put your comments, your questions, and also your suggestions down below. And also your town names. Don't forget, we are naming every town after things that you guys put down in the comments. So that all out of the way. Like always, have a great day out there, guys, and take care.